week?
Hot.
Emily, how fired up, how ready is the team for this challenge?
Yeah, I think the girls are just excited. We've got 2 important games now. Our last camp before the Asian Cup squad is announced, so it's just important for the team to put on 2 good performances to put us in good stead for that competition.
Is everyone in good shape?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, not bad.
Obviously, you've travelled over, a lot of you have come from completely different conditions in Europe to a couple of really hot days. Has that affected how you've been able to train?
I mean, a lot of us have obviously grown up with this heat from a young age, so we knew it was going to be really warm when we came over here. And the team's amazing. They put the right things in place for us in terms of hydration, recovery, and all of those things to be able to perform. And I think training's been really good this week. It's been, a shorter time together, but yeah, we feel really prepared and ready to go.
And what's it like staying here in Gosford, a brand new hotel, virtually across the road from the stadium you're from, just up the road yourself, growing up in Newcastle, to have this all here in Gosford? I mean, obviously the Central Coast is thrilled to have the Matildas here.
Yeah, it's been amazing. The hospitality's been second to none, and we're really excited we get to come here and play in front of the Gosford fans, and hopefully a few people from Newcastle make the trip down, and equally it's not as far from Sydney, so no, we're excited.
How close do you think the team is to being the finished product for the Asian Cup?
That's a question. Look, I think, anyone who gets the opportunity to come into camp is always looking to compete for a spot. It's a competitive environment, and at the end of the day, that's what you want. It's professional sport, and ultimately I think it's 23, 26 players that make the cut at the end of the day, and we're all vying for that spot, and we just love being able to get the opportunity to represent our country.
And talk a bit about New Zealand as an opposition. What are you expecting when you come up against them?
Yeah, tough game. I think we obviously have that rivalry with New Zealand, and we're always looking to get the win. But for us, I think it's more of a complete performance. We've done some really good things this week in training, looking to build obviously a bit of a long pitch for the Asian Cup. But again, these 2 games are vitally very important for us to have 2 really good performances.
In terms of the way that Pep wants you to play, how is that feeling? Do you feel like it's coming together now? Because you haven't had much time.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable style of play, not to give him a big head. But I think...
You spoke about your son.
But I think, it's been really good. It's been a good refresh for us, and I think the girls are really buying into what we're trying to do. For us, it's now just grasping those little concepts, and we keep tweaking little things here and there of what we need to do against different oppositions, and it's exciting. I think it's an exciting brand of football, and hopefully you guys see that's where I'm at.
In the squad, there's a lot of people like you who are very experienced and familiar faces, and then kind of this next group who maybe are about 19 games or below. Does it feel to you like the next gen is starting to push you guys?
Yeah, I think, in any environment there's always a next gen that's looking to push, and I think that's important for, the pathway here in Australia from grassroots all the way up. We have to make sure that we're producing Matildas, as many as we can every single year, and we're blooding through some really good young talent at the moment. Obviously there's the A-Leagues competition, but I think the most important thing is majority of the squad now are playing overseas, and that's where, the competitions are extremely competitive, and that's ultimately what you want at the end of the day as an individual. You want to be able to be playing against the best players in the world to ultimately push your national team to be the best that it can be.
Yeah, obviously a bit of a gap between the internationals and the Asian Cup itself in March. I mean, I guess given that, how vital is it that you do get most of the girls out here bar a couple of injuries, having people like Sam Kerr and stuff out here for these matches?
Yeah, really important we keep the team together. It's a really close-knit group, from staff to the playing group, which is it's really enjoyable to be a part of. And yeah, like you said, this is our last opportunity before the Asia Cup window. 2 good performances here, go away, work hard in our clubs, people getting as many minutes as they can to come in and make his job easier.
I guess it's still competitive for selection looking to March next year. No one's position's guaranteed.
No one's position should be guaranteed. That's professional sport. I think every single time you get the opportunity to come in here and represent your country, it's game on. Obviously we talk about being a team and having good culture and behaviours and getting along, but it's also competitive, and that's what you want, and that's what's going to push our team to be the best that it can be.
It obviously captured everyone's hearts at the last World Cup just 2 years ago now, and to have the Asian Cup here next year is such a rare opportunity for you to play in front of your fans in Australia and your comfort zone.
Yeah, we saw what the World Cup did in 2023, and to have the opportunity again to have a major tournament here on home soil is great for us as a team. We always talk about it. I think we're biased, our fans are the best fans in the world, and we hope they really get behind us and rally behind us during that tournament, as it's going to be super important for us.
Just in terms of competition, does it feel like a bit of a different kind of competition? Because this squad right now looks so much different from the World Cup 2 years ago. Like, there's been it seems like there's been like, the regular faces and people have sort of come in one or two at a time. But this squad is almost completely unrecognisable in a way.
Yeah, and I think that's natural in sport. Like we said before, it's important that we have pathways here in Australia to keep blooding through that Australian talent, and yeah, it's natural to have more girls coming through. I think you even see it with the Socceroos. It's just the way that professional sport is, and you pick your best players that you can to represent your country to ultimately get the best result on the day.
And you're going to go into the Asian Cup with 8 games under Joe. Is that enough?
Yeah, I think that's, again, part of being a professional athlete. You have to be able to adapt. The game's changing at a rapid pace now. I think you've seen it, especially in the last 5 years, how quickly it's grown. And that's part of being a player, part of being in high performance environments. You have to be able to adapt. And like I said, for us players, we really want to go out and amplify what we're trying to do, put 2 good performances in, and really buy into the way that Joe wants us to play.
Joe, how was Sam looking out there?
Sorry, we'll just let Emily leave. She's got to get the bus, and then we'll do.
How's you staying?
No, it's time.
Talk and jump. Right.
Joe, did Sam get full training today? Obviously, there's been a lot of chat about his new cover down from Chelsea. Did she do all the training today?
She's on a provised plan that we need to just make sure we build her up onto that, and she's tracking really, really well, and obviously the rest she had when she was at Chelsea was all pre-planned, and coming into us is all pre-planned, so we know exactly what we need to do, and she's doing really, really well, and we just need to make sure that that recovery is done properly.
Do you expect she'll start tomorrow?
Haven't even thought about the starting 11. I'll be honest with you. We'll just see. We've got a few, as it was mentioned before, we've got a few players that have just come off flights and are being managed and so on. But we'll put out 2 very good teams over the next 2 weeks.
Does those provisions that you talked about with Sam, will that affect her minutes tomorrow night? Do you expect to? We'll see. We'll just see where it's all at the moment. As I said, it's all going well. Everything's all going to plan, and we just now need to make sure that what's best for her in that sort of scenario. Is it minutes tomorrow? Is it minutes the next game? We'll just wait and see.
How much is that left up to Sam herself?
I'll be honest with you. I leave it always up to the player. I always leave it up to the player. Every player in the team is exactly knows their body better than anyone else and knows where they want to be. Yes, we give all the right advice. We have all the right people behind. We have all the right information given to each player. Sam Kerr, Emily Van Egmond, they know their body better, and especially coming back from injury and reintegrating into a group is really, really important. And sometimes it might just be even a psychological thing. It just might be, I think I need minutes just to get my confidence up, and off we go. So every player is in the same sort of scenario in terms of whether they feel 20 minutes, 50 minutes a game. They all want to play, obviously, but sometimes we have to be sensible, and the top pros are usually sensible.
How much of an influence, though, does the club have? Do they have the ultimate say?
No. We work together. We work together with Chelsea, and we've been lucky enough, and I've been lucky enough to have sort of formed very good relationships through my time in the UK with a lot of the sports science staff and the medical staff of all teams, and we just have to be intelligent and smart because it's a long game. It's not just putting someone at risk. It's a long game. Sam has to now reintegrate into Chelsea into a big period because they're coming into some Champions League qualifiers, and then we need her ready for the Asian Cup. So we're not thinking of just now. We're thinking going forward.
How would you say the squad is shaping up for tomorrow?
Yeah, really good, really good. And look, I'll be dead honest with you. It's a new one for me because this is the first time I've had the big travel during a season, and even just sort of managing players. There was, I think we were about to go training or something like that at in the morning, and some players were just finishing games at 1 o'clock Monday morning, in the UK. So they're things that you have to manage, and so I'm getting used to it too, in terms of just understanding. Okay, well, this is the travel sort of scenario that we have to deal with, and like anything, we just have to be sensible about it, because it's a long game. It's not for now, and just making sure that we stress players now. We don't stress players now. Again, concepts of football, preparing what we believe is going to be situations in the Asian Cup, the type of teams. New Zealand will be a really good challenge for us, because they're a team that will press high. They will put us under pressure, and we expect a lot of teams in the Asian Cup to come out and try to get us first. That's normal. Get ahead and see if they can hold on to a lead. So I think simulating these situations is really, really important in these two games. But then again, the real focus has been on us and how we can solve those problems.
We saw Michelle Heyman walking laps when we were out there. Is she got an injury?
She's fine. Michelle, we stir Michelle. She always takes match day -1 off. But she's been training since Monday. So coming out of the A-League game, so she's fine. She's fine.
Can we expect you to make some changes during the match and the series, just to see different scenarios? Or
yeah, look, a lot of you have spoken about, is this the squad going forward? Is this it? With the limited time I've got, I've had to find a level of stability. So get those messages across with stability, but also still look at some elements that I think we could need for the Asian Cup. Now we've got 3 months when they go back to their clubs, so that's going to be vital, and a lot of them are going into some big scenarios before Christmas. So there will be some things I'll look at, and some little tweaks that I'll make in these next 2 games.
You mentioned stability there. Obviously, Mary Fowler's been out injured since you've come in. Have you had to just factor her into plans as you're expecting her back? And I guess other previous coaches have struggled to find the right fit for Mary and the team.
Really? What do you mean they've found the right fit?
Even Tony Gustafsson has said he struggled, he didn't know where to put her because she was so good in so many different scenarios to find the right fit, but she helped the whole team see.
Yeah.
Has said
The same.
things as well.
I can't wait to work with Mary, because I know exactly where she's going to play. Mary's been fantastic. City have been fantastic, and our medical staff have been fantastic. We've really just been monitoring the sense of her coming back from an ACL, and what I mean by that, she probably could have been ready to play before Christmas. She sort of said, "Look, give me 9 months." And all the medical staff have said, let's take 9 months, get the Christmas period over, and then she'll start to integrate into the team. I think she starts training with City, I think, just before Christmas, the group, the actual team, and then going forward, because they have a break, and I thought, maybe having that break might be a bit silly to get her going, stop again, then start again. So we'll just get her going, and then she'll be up for consideration.
Come squad selection time, how close does Mary need to be to lining in a bit, I guess, to be selected, just in terms of like the World Cup a couple of years ago, Kaya Simon was selected and she wasn't quite there, and it was a big surprise, and we thought, okay, and Tony Gustafsson said, she might be able to be used in the knockout stages, and then she could play a minute. So there's a
Yeah, it's a good question, because when you look at a knockout tournament, you need to bring a squad that has all the balance that you require, but also even thinking about scenarios that could happen. Going one player down early on, a 0-0, bringing it into extra time, what those sort of players can bring. Am I looking at players playing minutes? Yes, I am. Obviously, that's logical, because it's game rhythm, and then they come in here already at a certain level. We have to be sensible with Mary. We have to see where she's at. I hope she gets 2 or 3 90 minutes before she comes into camp. But her quality is of a world-class level, so we have to consider her in the squad.
Where would you play her? You said you know where you're going to play her.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
Joe, so it's been the 6 games. I don't know. How does it feel like you guys have gone quickly? Is this sneaking up on you a little bit? Having to make the selections, and is 8 games enough in the Asian Cup?
Yeah, good question. I mean, as Em said, I knew it was going to be limited preparation. I knew it was going to be even doing some underpinning work, getting stability back into the organisation, into the staff. Obviously, when Tommy was in, there was staff coming in, coming out. So, and that's normal. That's normal because there was an interim coach, and they were looking to stabilise the situation. So for me, it's been a bigger picture. Yes, the squad is important, the team is important, preparing the team is important, but preparing everything around it to make sure that nothing is left undone because of the limited time that we've got. So that helps. Having the medical staff, on song, ready overseas, and so on. Having players on programs, so on and so on. Just getting all that stability. So it's been very, very important. It's gone quick. I think it's been a bit of a whirlwind, but it is what it is, and I can't go back and say I won 12 games or 15 games. I had 8 games, and that's it.
What makes New Zealand the best team for this last window, these last 2 matches, just in terms of the way they play? Like, what makes them the best team to face in Europe?
They're a brave team. They're a team that want to play. They're a team that will try to press us high. They're a team that's are very courageous even in their defending, very one-on-one, and I think we need that pressure. We need to be able to manage the ball, manage the situation. As I said from camp 1, under pressure we need to keep the ball better, and this will help us. The heat is good because that's what we're going to get in the Asian Cup. So that's why we've sort of made a real importance on making sure that we're simulating situations that we're going to get in the Asian Cup. And as Em said, hydration, having people ready, even just getting the water bottles on the side of where we're training, doing it, just little things like that. So it's those little details which is going to be really, really important in this camp.
How do you rate the facilities here? And the pitch looks good. Tell us a bit about the conditions here at the stadium.
Yeah, look, I came here a couple of times with Melbourne City, and it was always a beautiful place to come. It was a magnificent place to come. Atmosphere, the stadium is a boutique football stadium, and the game always looks better when it's in a boutique football stadium. And everyone around the hotel has been absolutely accommodating and fantastic. So we're really happy to be here.
Joe, we saw last week Charlie Crank a bit of a knee injury. Will she be right for the Asian Cup?
Yeah, look, it's we sort of got the early reports, and there was still a little bit of swelling in there, so we weren't sure exactly where it's at. We think she'll be right by Christmas, and then the post-Christmas will determine where she's at in terms of game time and so on. But all is travelling well. The reports I'm getting is all is travelling well. They're treating her really good at Tottenham.
You mentioned recently that the squad still had sort of room to change, especially with the A-League season just starting. So how likely do you think that it will be that some of those A-League and under-23 girls will break through to the level of Asian Cup?
Yeah, it's I've done it purposely because I do believe that there is the possibility of pressure coming from the A-League or younger players. We've got a very, very good under-20 squad. There's some good players in the under-23 AGN's tournament that we won earlier on that I think need to be considered. So my remit isn't so much about will players get a chance or are there spots in the thing. My remit is that everyone is under pressure. Everyone needs to feel that, hey, if you're not performing, you can lose your spot. And I have confidence in a lot of younger players and some of the A-League players. I think that there's room, and I want it to be known from us that they are being looked at, that they are considered, that they are part of what we're trying to do as the bigger picture, and that's very, very important to me and what we're trying to do as a whole here.
How important to bounce back, have a good couple of wins?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's as you say, there's a long time between camps, so that last memory. I mean, the England memory is the last one that sits in our mind. It went the way it did, and we have to take that. Against probably the best team in the world at the moment, and we want to make sure that we send the right message, that we leave the right message for the fans and everyone to say that we're on our way to being prepared for the Asian Cup.
What can you take from that game?
Yeah, we probably found us in a situation where we could find ourselves in in a tournament situation where we lose a player early, and we had to change things structurally. And for 60, I think 70 odd minutes, we were quite good. We limited England to only shots from distance, which was important. So we had to defend. That's life. That's modern football. Sometimes those circumstances. The disappointing. We've actually assessed more the first 18 minutes before the sending off of why we couldn't get control and why we couldn't get the structure right that we worked on. That was probably the area we focused on there, and we'll be better for it now starting games.
There's so much love and hype for the Matildas. Do you think that this team relishes the weight of expectation, or do you think it's going to weigh on them heading into a home tournament?
The feeling I get is that they love the expectation, and I think now with a lot of the players playing in the big tournaments and in the big leagues, that pressure they actually thrive on that pressure. So they love that pressure, and I always say that pressure is there, and you know that you're at the top level of your game. That's normal when you're at the top. When you're at the top, you're going to get scrutinised. You're going to get the levels of pressure which is there because you are at the top, and I think a lot of the players that are playing in the top clubs overseas are really understanding that, and I feel a real comfort in that at the moment, that they're looking forward to being part of that pressure.
Great, thanks everyone.
Thank you.